Hands in the chat, who's one of our very faithful members of the audience. Hello there. Cecilia says,
European Lore Channel is one of the troll accounts. We had to block them from everything because they're disgusting. So if you mention them again, I'll give you a timeout.
Cecilia says...
Wes, hi everybody, and welcome to yet another video. My dear friends, I think that we are looking towards brighter future. Now, what you saw at the beginning of the video as a little introduction was something that I fondly remember, was something that I look back with love, and man, I just wish the OneRing.net didn't block me, because I really wanted to interact with them more, because it's such a fun to interact with people. But the problem is that most people in the world today, well, or on social media really, in the virtual space, in the internet space, they are cowards, and they just are not able to engage in an intelligent and educated discussion. Nevertheless, this video is not about me, but it is about something similar, or only in a grander scale. There was an instance a couple of days ago, and it has been talked about on the internet a lot, to such an extent that I just said to myself, I might as well cover it as well. So there was a guy on the internet in a documentary or whatever, on YouTube, something, I don't know. But it was about comic book shops in the United States of America, and there was a guy who was talking about the fact that people are not buying comic books as much as they used to, because the comic books are not written, well, very good. They are just, in general, of a lower quality than they used to be in the past. Now, I always say you can get good stuff today, so don't put everything in one bag, but in general, the American comic book industry is in its downfall. It's very different in Europe and very different in Japan, but that's for another video. And so he was talking about the fact that a lot of writers are putting themselves into their works of art too much. They are just projecting themselves into the characters. Now, of course, you can never avoid putting yourself or your life or that which influenced you or inspired you in your work of art, but there is a difference, sometimes subtle difference, sometimes a big difference between being inspired, being influenced, and being shaped by your life, and absolutely 100% writing a character out of, well, the character. We are talking about established characters here. IPs that belong to huge companies, not your own new creations. Do whatever you want with your creation, but let's say you're writing Batman. Well, you should write Batman the way Batman is written. But, you know, it hasn't been done lately. People are just messing those characters up, but we know all about that. And the guy was, of course, disappointed with it. The sales are going down. His shop is apparently selling less than it used to in the past, and he expressed the concern. I'm going to show you the video, and then we will continue.
Writers don't have the love of comics like these older writers had, and all they care about is, how can I put myself in the book? No, we don't care what you would do if you were Iron Man. We don't care who you are. You're writing Tony Stark. You're not writing yourself in a book. If that's the case, write your own comic with you in it. No one will read it because nobody cares. People grew up, are growing up loving Peter Parker, loving Miles Morales, loving all these Captain America. We don't need you to put your input in it. Just write Steve Rogers. Don't write Steve Rogers. What would Steve Rogers be if I was Steve Rogers? That's not how it works. But that's again how most of these new people write nowadays. That's why most of the stuff is shit. Because we don't care what you would do, because we don't care about your life whatsoever. Just write a book, get paid for what you do, get paid for what you're supposed to be doing, and make it a good story.
And so this was posted, it went viral, and a lot of comic book pros got engaged in it. What was different in this case is that there were people from the American comic book industry that absolutely annihilated this guy. For example, somebody, I don't even know him really, Jamal Igle, a writer, I think, wrote something nice. Then somebody called Villalobos, I think he's like a an illustrator, called him yeah, this very unpleasant thing, which is quite ironic, since if you check the Villalobos guy out, he is morbidly obese. And since then he has apologized, and you know why? Because there was such an uproar on the internet defending the guy, defending the comic book owner, that it really grasped many people's hearts, and they followed those defenders. And so there was another one, I think initially it was Donny Cates, a writer who had potential, but he turned into a loony, absolute loony, who, I act strangely on the internet. So there were like 3 or 4 important people, quote-unquote, who were bashing this guy, and then a flood of positivity came from people you wouldn't have expected it, like Gail Simone, or I don't know, some other people. I can remember Jimmy Palmiotti defending the guy, but Jimmy Palmiotti is an extremely nice guy, and has always been. I love him. And probably the most important is Mark Millar, a guy who is a very prolific, and he has made a lot of comic books that have been turned into like TV shows, like what was it? Well, I love his Superman Red Sun, and I love his Wolverine, Old Man Logan, right? But, I mean, he has made a lot of independent comic books that, I know, out of DC and Marvel, that have been turned into different TV shows. So he's a big guy. And he posted this, and he has been defending the guy. Mark Millar has been, like, annihilating the internet lately as far as comic book industry goes. He is a millionaire. He like doesn't have to be afraid of any sort of cancel culture. He's been just smashing it. If you are not following him on Twitter or his YouTube channel, just follow him because he's awesome. And so he had this interview with this guy. I have yet to watch it on his channel, and so things are shaping up good for the comic book owner, and that really brings a little bit of hope into people's hearts. Because, you know, a couple of a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, cancel culture was very much alive, very much thriving. You couldn't really say everything. You couldn't express your opinion if that opinion didn't go in line with the opinion of the extremists in the mainstream, be it, well, whatever, in the comic book industry, in the film industry. But it seems to me that people are getting fed up to the back of their teeth with it, and even those people who have been silently just sitting and watching, even if they didn't agree with those cancel culture craziness things, they are just speaking up now. Because you can only piss people off so much. So yeah, this is a bright ray of hope that has appeared, and I think that things might get better if we are not afraid, and if we are not afraid to speak up, as I did against the shills for the Rings of Power. I've been speaking against them since I have had this channel. And it is a damn shame that none of them wants to speak with me, because, you know, I would love to converse with them. So, yeah, if you have a YouTube channel or a Twitter account or whatever, or a website, and you're claiming that you're a Tolkien fan and you have been promoting the Rings of Power positively, hit me up. We will arrange a discussion. It'll be fun. All right then. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and that'll be all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm out of here.